Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Barbershop Conversations and their interview with Andrade, Demetrius, Boo Boo Andrade. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to KO Artist Sports for their interview with Jermall Charlo. And shout out to Seconds Out with In This Corner with Smitty for his interview with Floyd Mayweather. Let me start with this one. Now, Demetrius Andrade, in his interview with Barbershop Conversations, he was talking about the strategy that was necessary for JRock Williams to be able to defeat Jermall Charlo. He had to get on the inside of Charlo and rough him up. That's what he had to do. And Demetrius Andrade makes a point that he didn't do that in the fight. And Demetrius Andrade says, you'll see what he would do against Jermall Charlo. Now, Demetrius Andrade is not shorter. He doesn't have a shorter reach than Jermall Charlo. They're about the same height, etc. So it would be a different kind of fight. But the point is, and he's southpaw. It would be a different kind of fight. But still, the point is, Demetrius Andrade has a proven track record of being very good and beating a lot of opponents. So when you listen to Demetrius Andrade, don't get carried away by his jokey expressions. He likes to joke a lot, it seems. He's kind of like Muhammad Ali in many respects. Talks a lot, seems to be jokey, but don't get it twisted. This guy's a killer, okay? Don't get it twisted for a second. Now, I looked at the interview with Jermall Charlo, but before I go into that interview, there's so many things I want to say. First thing I want to say is this. How is it and why did JRock Williams become unable to get on the inside of Jermall Charlo? Why did he have to stay a certain distance away from Jermall Charlo? Now remember that, keep it in your mind, because JRock Williams wanted to work on the inside. He did want to get on the inside of Jermall Charlo, right? Keep that in the back of your mind. We'll come back to that. First of all, let's listen to this interview Smitty has with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Listen carefully.
Of the fights are won right here in training?
95%.
Why so?
You may have certain fighters may be a lot better skill fighter. More naturally talented, more skill, may hit hard. The guy put all the work in the gym, done all the running, done all the hard training, and it is showing the fight.
Is it easier for you now that your body's matured and you're not?
Okay, we'll just stop right there, okay? Remember that. Let's go to the interview with Jermall Charlo. Listen carefully, okay?
After the way he reacted after the knockdown, were you kind of in your mind thinking like, I just need to catch him again and then this is over? Because I didn't feel you jabbing as much as
the game plan that we followed worked all the way out. I mean, 100%. Ronnie Shields gave me a game plan and I stuck to it. When I knocked him down with the jab, it's almost like that's what we worked on. And when I went under for the uppercut, that was exactly what we worked on. It wasn't, I studied well, I trained hard, I stayed focused, and I got the job done.
Now, you heard what Jermall Charlo said. You heard what Floyd Mayweather said. Let's get back to Demetrius Andrade for a brief minute. Demetrius Andrade is very talented, very skilled. Okay, Jermall Charlo made that point. Okay, Jermall Charlo, like Floyd Mayweather, tells you that a lot of the work is done in the gym. This is the work now, preparation for a fight. 95% of it is done in the gym. Why he's saying that is because when you listen to Jermall Charlo, he's basically telling you the game plan that they had. Now, if you go and listen to the rest of the interview, you'll hear Jermall Charlo say that he used what is called a super jab. And you can go ahead and find out more about that. You see Gennady Golovkin do the same thing. We also call it a shotgun jab. Alright, it's a very powerful jab. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all straight up what really went on in that fight. The reason JRock Williams could not get closer to Jermall Charlo was because of two very important things. One, Jermall Charlo times his jab very well and places his jab very well. And the kind of jab that Jermall Williams uses, he has perfected. As he said, he calls it the super jab. It's also known as a shotgun jab. He's perfected that jab so that it has almost maximum power, or a certain amount of power in it. It's almost like if Jermall Williams is hitting you with a power punch. So that when JRock Williams got caught with that jab a number of times and then he got put down with the jab, JRock Williams was deterred from coming on the inside of Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo established his distance with a super jab, also known as a power jab, also known as a shotgun jab. And that jab is the same kind of jab that Ezzard Charles used to win all of his fights. I'm talking about Ezzard Charles beat Charlie Burley with that jab. It's a special kind of jab. It's the timing. You watch for your opponent to come in and then you snap that powerful jab in their face. Now Demetrius Andrade needs to go study Jermall Charlo's jab. He needs to go study that jab because that is one of Jermall Charlo's most important weapons. You're not going to get on the inside of Jermall Charlo just like that. He knows how to time that jab. He knows how to time you. And there's a lot more to Jermall Charlo's jab than meets the eye. Okay? Remember we were studying Vladimir Klitschko. Now there's another thing I want to share with you guys about Jermall Charlo. He's not a one-dimensional fighter. He's not just a fighter who can fight on the outside. Jermall Charlo. Alright. I'm going to show you guys so you'll understand. And go watch old fights by Jermall Charlo. And I think Demetrius Andrade doesn't understand the opponent he's going to be facing. So I'm going to give him some knowledge. Let's listen to Smithy talk a little bit more to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let me see if I can find it first. Alright. And this is a misunderstanding of Floyd Mayweather Jr. as well. People do not understand. They think Floyd is a stick and move fighter. But see, that's why I tried to explain this knowledge to people. If you're going to approach Floyd Mayweather, you have to understand what this guy is capable of doing. Listen carefully.
One of the things you do so well is fight within the pocket. I mean, when you think of guys that move around, you can fight in a phone booth and still not get hit.
All day.
All right, let's just stop right there. Now, what Smithy just said is a knowledge that you got to understand when you're going to face an opponent. Fighting in the pocket means that you're not just an outboxer. Floyd Mayweather is not like Muhammad Ali. Alright? Muhammad Ali, and this is where a lot of people don't understand these things, and I try to highlight things because I listen to the boxers. I listen to these interviews, which are very enlightening. If you're fighting in the pocket, it means you're fighting very close within a guy's range. He can engage you, you can engage him. And a lot of people think that Floyd Mayweather Jr., I even heard people say, Floyd Mayweather Jr., he don't want to get in no fight. He doesn't want to trade and engage. Actually, that's not true. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is most comfortable in a fight, in a trade-off, in engaging. Because Floyd Mayweather Jr. is comfortable fighting in the pocket. Jermall Charlo has had experience and shows that he also can fight in the pocket. He doesn't just have a good jab, but he can fight on the inside, and he can also fight up close, mid-range. The pocket usually is mid-range to inside. Floyd Mayweather is comfortable doing that, and he actually gives all his secrets, everything he does in there, well, mostly. He gives you the core of what he does in there. He explains it to Smitty. Jermall Charlo is the same kind of fighter like Floyd Mayweather Jr. Randy Shields did not create a one-dimensional fighter. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Erislandy Lara is a one-dimensional fighter. Even though Erislandy Lara can fight up close in the pocket, he's not strong in that area. Okay? Now you've seen Jermall Charlo use his jab, keep guys at bay, and fight him from the outside. What y'all don't know is Jermall Charlo also can fight on the inside. And if you go and watch some of his earlier fights, you'll see him infighting. against a guy who's bringing the fight to him on the inside. So Jermall Charlo can also fight on the inside. All right, and a lot of people don't know that, apparently. Jermall Charlo, we know he can fight on the inside. We know he can fight on the outside. To me, he's like a modern day Floyd Mayweather. He's not as sharp as his older brother, though. And I'm praying and I'm hoping Jermall keeps the essences of what he is as a fighter. Because Jermall he's really good. He's really good. And he reminds me a lot of a young Floyd. The things he do in there. But I don't know what will happen with him. But Jermall is very strong, and besides being very strong, he fights in the pocket. Now, this is very important for you to understand, because Demetrius Andrade is underestimating Jermall Charlo's game. He's saying you got to get up close to Jermall Charlo. If you're a shorter fighter, if you're the fighter with the shorter reach, you need to get on the inside of this guy and rough him up, right? Isn't that the strategy everybody tried to do with Floyd Mayweather? Get on the inside of Floyd and rough him up? Except that Floyd loved that. That's when he's most comfortable. Floyd's not really an outboxer. Look at all the fights. Even when he's against Oscar De La Hoya, he's in the pocket against Oscar. Pay attention to what I'm saying now. He outboxed Manny Pacquiao. That one, yeah, he outboxed Manny Pacquiao. The second fight with Marcos Maidana, he was outboxing Marcos Maidana early. Later on, he was in the pocket mixing it up with Marcos Maidana, right? But Floyd can change it up. He can outbox if he needs to. Right? You can even see Floyd bounce around. Bounce, take a walk sometimes, shuffle, skip around. Floyd can do it all, right? And the key, what you guys need to understand is this. Jermall Charlo and Jermall Charlo have a lot of those key, concrete, basic attributes I saw in Floyd Mayweather. Canelo Alvarez also holds some of those attributes that Floyd Mayweather has. These guys are deadly. Because Floyd, if Floyd is hunting you down, the difference between Floyd and Canelo, you are not getting away from Floyd. Floyd will cut the ring off on you. He will cut the ring off on you. He'll cut you off. All right? If Floyd is hunting you down, he's going to cut the ring off on you. All right? You're not getting away from him. So, like I said, I think Demetrius Andrade, as much as he's talking here, I know he's a southpaw and he's counting on his southpaw skills to be able to get the angles on Jermall Charlo. I know Jermall Charlo's doing his homework on Demetrius Andrade and a number of other fighters. And the key here is this. Some guys are better. They're more skilled than you. They got better attributes than you in certain areas. But the key here, listen to Jermall Charlo, listen to Floyd Mayweather, is you work on your craft. You're dedicated to your craft. You focus on what you need to do. I see all those attributes in Jermall Charlo. I see all those attributes in Jermall Charlo. I'm hoping Jermall will keep it up. Of the two brothers, I think Jermall is the more skilled, the more talented fighter of the two. At least he displays that more than Jermall does. I'm sure both of them can do the same things. But don't get it twisted. Jermall can do, I think, anything and everything that Jermall can do in his own way. You know what I mean? And Jermall, I really want to see Jermall do better. He seems to be struggling in fights. And I'm hoping Jermall will do better because he has a lot more potential than Jermall in terms of creativity, what he does in the ring, etc. He's very creative, but you can be creative in a fight and yet certain things are just not necessary to be done. If you look at Floyd, Floyd is the epitome of efficiency later on in his career. In his younger career, he wasn't as efficient. He'd get hit more. He would be, a guy who, would expend sometimes unnecessary energy to do certain things to get the same result. And as he got older, he got a lot more wiser as to what is expedient. In fact, Floyd threw less punches when he was older. When he was younger, he was just, Floyd was just a guy who would throw a barrage of punches, right? He just let everything go. I feel like Jermall, he's a little bit, and the competition Jermall's facing too is much stronger than him, but still, I think Jermall's like that young Floyd. I think he's expending energy unnecessary, and this is a different era. Fighters have gotten better. They've gotten more punch resistant. They got stronger. this is a different era. This is a different time to Floyd Mayweather's time. You know, Floyd could have done that in his era because the athletes weren't as, you know, well conditioned as athletes today. Athletes today are so much more well conditioned than in the past, and people don't understand that. You know, if you go on a 12 rounder, the athletes are literally conditioned, trained, and focused in for 12 rounds. Like, I don't care if you're a knockout artist in these present times. Dudes be training for 12 rounds now and more. And I'm talking about real kind of hard training. You look at an athlete like Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter, you're not knocking out Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is not going to get knocked out by any welterweight in the welterweight division. Kell Brook couldn't knock him out, right? And he just kept coming for 12 rounds. That's the kind of conditioning the athletes today are, and people don't get it. You know, when we saw Joe Frazier go after Ali, you know, it was incredible. Now, basically, Shawn Porter's like Joe Frazier on steroids. You know, you thought Joe Frazier was deadly. No, we got a guy worse than Joe Frazier now, right? In the welterweight division, we got people like Timothy Bradley. These are killers, man. These guys, they're so well conditioned. You're not knocking them out. I don't care who you are. Manny Pacquiao couldn't knock out Timothy Bradley. He got him off balance the first time. I think he knocked him down twice because he was off balance. It wasn't because Timothy Bradley was beaten up or battered down. It was because he caught him off balance. You got to understand the level of athlete today. I think a lot of you people just underappreciate what kind of shit. You look at football athletes from just 20 years ago, and you compare them to football athletes today. The football athletes today would kill them. It would kill them. All right. Not only are they bigger, they're stronger, they're more punch resistant. I mean, the science and everything in all sports has improved, so the athletes can do much more incredible things. And my point being, the nutrition of the athletes is even better. Athletes are taking care of their bodies better. So you're getting athletes older doing amazing things as well, right? And my point is this. Bernard Hopkins, though he's from a totally different era to the present time, Bernard Hopkins is a testament of how far our science and the conditioning of athletes has come. And we're already seeing the next wave of athlete, and you've seen the next wave of well-conditioned athlete. You think of that British heavyweight champion right now, which I can't remember his name right now, Anthony Joshua. This is not no, you know, Mike Tyson had knocked out Frank Bruno, right? This ain't no Frank Bruno. Anthony Joshua got a beard, man. He got a beard. And this dude is strong. Like, strong. And he also can box. I mean, Lennox Lewis going up against Anthony Joshua. This Anthony Joshua, he not knocking him out. I'm telling you, he's not knocking that homeboy out. Now, people look back at it and say, oh, Lennox Lewis would knock him out. First of all, Anthony Joshua is bigger than Lennox Lewis. He's taller than Lennox Lewis. He's fitter than Lennox Lewis. Dude can go 12 rounds if he needs to. You understand what I'm saying? It's different. This age is so different. Deontay Wilder is a beast. Wilder's a beast. You understand what I'm saying? These guys, you hit them with shots that would normally knock out, and on the nugget, would normally knock out another fighter. And they're still standing because of the conditioning. Right? We saw Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather only got dropped once in his career by Zab Judah, and it was an off-balance punch. He was off-balance when he touched the canvas. It wasn't scored as an official knockdown, but that's it. The next time he ever went down wasn't because of a punch. It was because he punched a guy and broke his hand. Okay? That's how well-conditioned Floyd was. You can't say that for Sugar Ray Robinson. You can't say that for Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was hella conditioned for his time. For their time, for their era, Sugar Ray Robinson was and Muhammad Ali were just way ahead of their peoples. You know what I mean? For their time. Sugar Ray Leonard was a well-conditioned athlete as well for his time. You put Sugar Ray Leonard in this era, he'd be like an ordinary fighter. He'd probably get knocked out. It's crazy to say, because with all the steroids and everything that they were using back then, still they can't touch these athletes today. Because see, Sugar Ray Leonard, he snorted cocaine. Guys today, they don't even try to get those things to touch their bodies. They keep their body as clean, as pure as possible. They don't want any enhancer to enhance themselves. They use natural things that can do a better job than these artificial things, which also negatively impact the body later on in life. So, When you got those kinds of athletes dedicated to doing their craft, focused, dialed in, like you hear them say, training like beasts. I mean, the kind of training these guys do today is on a whole other level to back in the day, because you're using technology, using science, using, conditioning and training, nutrition. Okay, it's a whole different ball game today than it was yesteryear. And some of those guys still party. Some guys don't party at all. All right. Again, I draw your attention to Shawn Porter and Kenny Porter. Shawn Porter is a beast. I mean, he's a big welterweight. He's actually a guy that's much bigger than welterweight. You understand? He's on a diet regimen. Dude is in shape. Not only is he in shape, he's fight ready 24/7 all through the year. I ain't talking about joke fight shape. I'm talking peak fight shape. Peak. He can go anytime. He can fight tomorrow. That's crazy. That's really living the life. Floyd Mayweather also talks about living the life. He says, I am boxing. In other words, I live boxing. That's what I do. If I'm not in the sport of boxing, that's it. He said, I dedicated so many years of my life. All of the past greats, all of them had liberties on how they did their diet and nutrition, and they didn't take the fight game as seriously. That's why they lost. A lot of these guys had much more skill and talent and ability than the current guys today. We all know certain old school things from boxing have been lost. Yet these modern day gladiators, man, because of their conditioning and just the way they are, they destroy those guys from the past. They destroy them just because they'd be so much bigger than them. Think about this. When we said middleweight, middleweights didn't come in over 160 pounds. They came in under or at the limit of 160 pounds. Middleweights today weigh from 173 to 184, 185 pounds. If Sugar Ray Robinson couldn't handle Joey Maxim, who is 173 pounds, how the hell is he handling Gennady Golovkin? How the hell is he even handling Canelo Alvarez? Right? What we call super welterweights today, they are light heavyweights back then. What we call welterweights today, those are middleweights back then. I'm just putting it in perspective so you guys can understand. I'm not saying the guys don't have skill and so on. Sugar Ray Robinson had skill. I'm going to say this again. Roy Jones Jr. killed Sugar Ray Robinson. Roy Jones Jr. began as a middleweight. Right? He became a super middleweight rather quickly. And Roy Jones Jr. is really a light heavyweight. That's really what he is. He's campaigning right now at cruiser, but he's a light heavyweight. Roy was quick. He was fast. He was explosive. Right? Ray Robinson would be a little dwarf compared to him. Ray Robinson didn't cross 165 pounds. Throughout his career, he never crossed 165 pounds. How you gonna handle a 190 pounder? Because they say 175 pounds, but really Roy Jones Jr. is about 190 pounds, some 200 pounds. How the hell is Sugar Ray Robinson gonna handle that? I'm just explaining to you guys, because a lot of people, they like to direct a conversation and ask you questions about things and negate what you've been saying before and try and change the conversation to what they want to say. But if you look at the facts, there ain't no way Roy Jones Jr. would kill him. He would kill him. Okay? I'm just breaking it down. I'm making it sensible so you guys can understand. Roy Jones Jr. was a peak performance, well-conditioned athlete throughout his career. Not the entire career, because obviously at the end of his career, he's not as conditioned as he used to be. Alright? I can go on and on and on facts. I'm not trying to play around here with you people. I like common facts. So anyway, Demetrius Andrade, he says he had to get on the inside of Jermall Charlo to give him a fight of his life. You don't know what you meet if you go on the inside of Jermall Charlo, because Jermall Charlo knows how to fight on the inside as well. It's just that for most of his competitions, guys generally don't get past his jab, and there's a reason why that's so. Okay? But I'm pretty sure if you get a Canelo Alvarez, he's going to get past his jab. Canelo Alvarez is going to get past that jab. Canelo makes his living slipping the jab. But an experienced fighter like JRock, who hasn't faced that level of competition yet, wouldn't get past the jab. Since it's going to be a southpaw, and southpaw his name is Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I believe Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade will get past the jab. But then what happens after that? You get past the jab, okay. Is Jermall going to give you foot dominance, lead foot dominance? And even if you get lead foot dominance, is Jermall going to be in the position for you to counter him? You understand what I'm saying? You gotta understand what I'm saying. Jermall Charlo, remember, and Jermall Charlo, they pattern themselves after Floyd Mayweather. And you don't know what kind of traps they're setting. By the way, this is what happened in the fight with JRock. So Jermall Charlo deters JRock, gets the distance, the range he wants, sets the trap for JRock to keep on coming inside. And like Floyd Mayweather would say, I think 10 steps ahead of the game. So he's 10 steps ahead. He's getting JRock to do the things, reach in as he wanted to. You heard his brother Jermall say, so JRock thought he saw something. And so he started to make mistakes. And the key to it is here. Jermall sprung the trap on JRock. Watching him coming in, watching him coming in, watching him timing him. He tested it out, like a brother said in another video. In the second round, he tried that right uppercut just to see what was going to happen. He tested it out early. And then he sprung the trap. And JRock went for it. And that was that. My point anyway is this. Nothing in boxing happens by chance. Not with these guys. These guys are thinking fighters. They're setting you up for something. Canelo will set you up for something as well. But he ain't going to spring the trap right now. No, he spring the trap a couple rounds down the road. You watch Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana again. Watch the science. Watch what's happening. Watch what Floyd's doing. The first thing Floyd works is the body. Now, Demetrius Andrade, he's correct. You have to work the body of a boxer. If you want to break down any boxer, you want to work the body. Which is what JRock tried to do with the jab to the pit, right? But see, you can't get to the pit if the other boxer keeps on changing up the angle on you. You're going to slide by the pit. And what happens if you miss the jab to the pit? You get countered. If you get countered with an uppercut, what happens to you? Huh? See? See what I'm saying? So, if he baits him, and how do you bait roll, and then come with something back and counter? It's called bait, roll, and counter. Watch James Toney. You bait a guy by throwing a jab. The first thing the guy's going to probably try and do is throw back a jab at you. So it's called bait, roll, and counter. He throws the jab, you roll the jab, and you come back with something. All right? I just told you guys about bait, roll, and counter. This is simple. That's like checkers. The game in boxing is chess. It's not checkers. So I'm just giving you a checkers move here. Okay? That's one of the things they do. Simple stuff. It's much more complex than that. It has a lot more to do with angles in boxing. That's why boxers have to practice things and practice. You can have how much talent in the world. You know, when you go to the pros, talent only gets you that far. You have to understand the science. There's a reason why, like one of the trainers, Nazim Richardson, was talking about the amateur program and the amateurs. The amateurs helps you to understand practically what you've been learning theoretically. You hear about and understand theoretically. Believe you me, boxing is so much more complex because it's got a lot to do with angles and just the positioning of your body to the opponent. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to land a punch on someone. It takes a certain angle to be able to do that, and that means your body has to have that positioning, and you have to do it. You have to do it to get that positioning. It isn't going to come overnight. You have to work on your stance. You have to work on all kinds of things to get the right positioning. I don't know how to explain it, man. But suffice it to say, if you're fighting somebody, it's not just instinct. Instinct is not enough to beat a professional athlete or a well-trained amateur. You can have how much instinct you want. You can't just go on instinct. You have to be able to think a couple moves down. And that's where you start to learn certain things. You heard Jermall Charlo say they were practicing certain things. You're practicing it to get it right. When you saw Jermall Charlo, that right uppercut was so well done. It was so quick. It was so powerful. It was so out of the angle where JRock was not going to see it at all. He was not going to see it. It stunned him. It didn't so much as knock him out. It threw off his equilibrium. It stunned him more than anything else. His body didn't even process that knockout. So by the time he got hit, his body went into shock immediately, seized up, and he went flat down because it was quick, it was sharp, it was so sharp. That uppercut was so sharp, okay? And I don't know if Demetrius Andrade understands how sharp those Charlo brothers are. I don't know for Jermall Charlo. I don't know. He's not training with Randy Shields anymore. I'm still watching to see if Jermall can get that sharpness back. He was never as sharp as his older brother. He was never as powerful as his older brother. His thing was variety, creativity, fluidity, right? But still, how sharp that uppercut was it was remarkable. It was very sensational, as we say. Remind me of Canelo's sharpness. You know what I mean? There's too much more. There's so many things to learn in the game of boxing. To be on a Floyd Mayweather status, you got to learn a lot of stuff. But I'm telling you right now, the potential for the Charlo brothers, I've always looked at them and I said, them cats serious. They for real, okay? People think that Demetrius would beat them. If Demetrius, Demetrius is breaking it down like it's simple. I mean, Demetrius has different dimensions to JRock, so it's going to be a different kind of fight to start with. I mean, Demetrius, he demolished Willie Nelson, but then again, Willie Nelson's been, knocked down before and all of these other things, all right? So it's not like Demetrius is bragging about Willie Nelson. I think the JRock win by Jermall Charlo was a lot more emphatic and very clean. But nonetheless, Demetrius Andrade, I think he's very good. I think he's very, very good. But if you were to ask me who will improve and be better, who will be at the top of the game within the next 2 years, it's not going to be Demetrius Andrade. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Jermall Charlo. I think he's going to take it. And Jermall, them two little lions, they kill us. We'll see what happens with both of them as time goes along. But I'm telling you, them boys not no joke. I'm just hoping that Jermall will, because Jermall has a lot of promise. He has a lot of potential. And Jermall has a lot of potential. The stuff that I saw in Floyd, I'm seeing in these guys. I'm not saying that Floyd Mayweather, they're not going to be ever like Floyd Mayweather. They ain't trying to be like Floyd Mayweather. But I'm telling you, keep your eye on those two cats. I've been saying it for the longest while. I think them boys is for real. They're the real deal. And they really are killers. Like, they really are killers. I can't explain it to you. They're very intense. They're very, very intense. And that's the intensity I saw in Roy Jones Jr. That's the intensity I saw in Floyd. When Roy Jones Jr. was in his peak, that was the kind of intensity. Roy, when you see Roy face pout up, man, shoot. When you see Floyd, man, Floyd had that intensity too, man. Like, them guys ready to go, like, they be killers. They'll walk through a punch, like, look, they'll make your punch look like it's nothing, and they're just coming at you. Like, that's the kind of killer that Floyd, Roy, and these boys, that's what they show me. They show me that kind of killer instinct. Now, people say Floyd ain't a killer. Floyd's a killer, but it's just that he's a smart killer. Let's put it that way. He don't have to knock you out to kill you. You understand what I'm saying? Mentally, he can destroy you. He definitely wrecked Victor Ortiz's career. And I think he hurt Shane Mosley a lot, mentally and physically and mentally. I think he put a beating on Shane Mosley, like Muhammad Ali beat up some guys, but he didn't stop them. You know what I mean? I think Floyd mentally, he can damage you pretty bad. But these boys, these Charlo boys, man, they not no joke. I'm telling you, man. So watch out for them. We'll see how things go with them. I can see that there's certain fighters I just know. You just see it. Guillermo Rigondeaux, he's a killer, right? Now he's knocking out everybody, but again, the competition he's facing isn't the highest level. So if you give him the bum treatment, now I was watching another interview too. This video is loaded. I was watching another interview where Deontay Wilder and Vinny Panzians, they were talking about, you shouldn't call nobody no bum if you never put foot lace them up in the ring, because even the bums, man, they got a certain mindset, they got a certain heart, and I agree 100% with that. But I'm gonna put it this way: why I call some people bums is not because they're better than me. Let's put it that way. They're better than me, right? I'm just a fan. They're better than me. They know boxing better than me. You've been in the fight game. It's just, sometimes they get knocked out, whatever. And I get respect for anybody who laces it up and does this thing, because you got to have a certain kind of mind to do it. But having said that, when you compare them to other professional athletes out there, you wonder why the name bum comes up, is because you wonder why some high-tier elite athletes who have reached the pinnacle of their level, they become a champion. Why are they fighting these bums? That's why the word bum comes in. It's not because you're trying to disrespect the other people, the other athletes, but they shouldn't be fighting that level of competition. You get what I'm saying? That level of competition is for debutantes. It's for prospects who are climbing the ladder. All right? Because everybody need to get paid. I understand. But a world champion shouldn't be facing those kinds of competition, especially in a championship fight. I can understand if you say, okay, it's not a championship fight. All right, and you want to give this guy a thing, and you want to tune up. You want to do something a little bit above the level of sparring, right? Okay, fair enough. A glorified exhibition match. I get you. All right, but when you make that a championship fight, all right, and you're saying, oh, you're giving this guy a chance. No. That era and that time has passed, where everybody used to fight everybody. And it didn't matter if you just came into boxing, you could fight the world champion or some stupidness like that. That era has passed. Let's stop that, man. Boxing needs to move forward. Now, if you want to have it as an uncommissioned fight, sure, fine. You want to stay busy, you want to, keep yourself sharp, fine. But then don't compare your record and talk about, oh, I've been undefeated for 100 fights or 120 fights or some stupidness like that. But really and truly, you fought 100 bums out of 120 fights. Or you fought 80-something bums out of 120 fights. Don't be saying that. That's the problem I have with these fans who come out and say, oh, Chavez had 89-0 or 90-0, whatever. 95. Don't do them kind of things. Because you give people munition to say a bunch of crap. All right? And I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And I use it particularly in the context of Floyd Mayweather, because people have been saying a lot of negative things about this guy. Because they salty he beat Pacquiao. And he was supposed to follow the narrative that he was afraid of Pacquiao and all of these nonsense. Floyd Mayweather gets a bad rap because what? Because he did the thing that everybody else wanted. He wanted him to get beaten, and he beat Pacquiao. And then I listened to them say foolishness like, the aura of Floyd Mayweather. I heard Skip Bayless say some really retarded stuff. The aura of Floyd Mayweather. And he's projecting what they've been doing with Pacquiao for all these years. HBO has been saying Pacquiao landed a hard left by Manny Pacquiao when he missed. He missed. Floyd Mayweather completely outmaneuvers him, outcontrols him, outclasses him, outboxes him, outpoints him. And people are talking about, oh, look at the shots that Floyd missed. Or he didn't hit Pacquiao. Pacquiao was hard to hit. Floyd was having... And I listen to this stupid narrative. Like, I'm listening to it and I'm thinking to myself, because I actually watch the stupid videos that these guys do, and they slow down the fight and they still can't count the punches. They're attributing punches to Manny Pacquiao that are not even there. You know what I mean? By the way, this is just a long ramble, okay? I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just going to upload it after. I find these things distasteful, because the very same things that you do, now you're going to project it onto the other person. But these are the things you're doing. You're like a big fat hypocrite. You're ready to protect Manny Pacquiao for making a stupid excuse about his shoulder, which is not true, because he had that so-called shoulder tear, and besides that, the ligament tear in his muscle, tendon, whatever it is. It's not something major. You listen, you watch Manny Pacquiao in the conference. He's talking and he's using his hand like normal. And once he mentions that he had some injury in his shoulder, then he holds his shoulder. Come on, man. Get for real, man. We all know it was baloney. I don't even believe Pacquiao hurt his shoulder at all. I don't think so. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because you come at the end of the fight and you're making that excuse after you lost. So if you had won, you would have said it? Would you have said that you had a problem with your shoulder? Nope. You wouldn't have said a thing. You wouldn't have said a thing. Right? No need to do there. Oh, I had a shoulder problem. You didn't have no shoulder problem. You had a boxing problem with Garrett Morrigan. You had a problem boxing. And I give Benito Donaire absolute respect. But don't make those stupid excuses, man. Give Guillermo Rigondeaux his props. Man, he was the better man tonight. Just say that and end the story. Manny Pacquiao begins. I guess I came up short tonight. That's what Manny Pacquiao said in the news conference. Then he says, I thought I won the fight. You know you didn't win no damn fight, Manny Pacquiao. Stop lying. You were embarrassed. Okay? You were embarrassed. Floyd embarrassed you in the 11th round. He was mocking you and hitting you at the same time. You felt embarrassed. So you had to say what you said. Anybody with just a decent brain knows that. And I listened to these other people. Up to recently, some guy is saying, oh, Floyd came in and he knows from the old time greats how to hug. And you need to admit that Floyd is a hugger. Man, you're such a sore loser. It's not funny. Okay? And Floyd did not hug Manny Pacquiao 71 times. Maybe the dumb, stupid guy who's recording these things from whatever. I don't even have time to go count the hugs or whatever they want to go. They said 71 times he hugged Manny Pacquiao. Look, man. First of all, boxers don't hug. They clinch. Second of all, Manny Pacquiao initiated a lot of those clinches if y'all were paying attention. Alright? Thirdly, it wasn't so many clinches in the fight. Fourthly, 71 clinches in the fight is roughly, if you take 71 divided by 12, you're going to get a little less than 6 clinches around. That ain't much. It's terrible. But I don't even think that happened. Marcos Maidana versus Floyd Mayweather had more clinches than that. And I'm talking about Marcos Maidana 1 and Floyd Mayweather. Not 2. Okay? 2 had less. Okay? And then that fight, first of all, Floyd did not clinch Manny Pacquiao that much. Tell me how many clinches did Floyd clinch Manny Pacquiao in the 8th round? How many in the 7th? How many in the 9th? And the answer is 0. Go watch the fight. But y'all listen to Al Bernstein. Oh, I see that Floyd has just clinched Manny Pacquiao. That was I think it was in the first round, the end of the first round. Al Bernstein started with the clinching stupidness. He only clinched Manny Pacquiao in that first round once. In the second round, he clinched him, I think, 3 times. Okay? If you're keeping track of the clinches, if you're really keeping track of the clinches, Manny Pacquiao also clinched Floyd. Didn't even clinch Manny Pacquiao in the 4th round. My point anyway is this. People are saying these things because Floyd was supposed to be a chicken, right? He was supposed to be a chicken. He was supposed to run around the ring like Erislandy Lara. He was supposed to slip and fall, right? Erislandy Lara ran. Literally. Go watch the fight. Canelo hit him with a shot and Erislandy took off like a bullet. Marcos Maidana ran from Floyd Mayweather in the 2nd fight. Sergey Kovalev ran from Andre Ward after Andre Ward hit him a body shot. I think it was in the 5th round. That's called running. When the so-called bad guy, the so-called tough guy takes a jog. Okay? That's called running. Erislandy Lara literally ran from Canelo Alvarez because he didn't want to get hit with the body punch. Same thing with Sergey Kovalev. He didn't want to get hit with a body punch by Andrew Ward. Andrew Ward was just ripping the body shots to Sergey Kovalev, softening up his insides. You see him bounce up and down when he gets a shot like that. Same thing with Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana, to get bailed out, Kenny Baylor said, did he hit you low? He did. Floyd didn't hit him low. Did he hit you low? And he was like, yeah. And he took time out. If you see a boy hanging out on the side because he wanted to survive, he went into survival mode. Floyd was just hitting him on the insides and making it jelly. Softening him up on the inside. right? That same Marcus Maidana clocked Floyd with a straight right in the third for the home run, and he didn't knock him out. Think about that now. Y'all talking about, oh, he knocked out Floyd's tooth and all kinds of things. The hate, man. Anyway, you guys have a great one.